Well, the rankings are out. Oregon's number 1.
Again.
How about that?
They're not just number 1. I've yet to see a a real pundit, like someone that's respected, that thinks anyone other than Oregon is the best team in the country. It's kind of, I mean,
you know what?
It's weird.
Well,
and
are,
and yet it's true.
I was gonna say they are.
Yeah.
But that said, I don't know about you. I feel like Ohio State thinks this thing is teed up for them.
Sure.
Because, well, first of all, they're the odds-on favorite now, not Oregon. And they certainly don't fret over a rematch with Oregon because they already almost won at Autzen. So they got to beat Indiana and Michigan, and I can't imagine they are, I'm sure Indiana has their attention.
But I think that Indiana-Michigan game probably gave them a little bit of a sigh of relief.
And Michigan's down.
Yeah.
And so then they're going to get a rematch with Oregon, and what other big boy scares them? I mean, would it be Texas? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think that if you're Ohio State right now, you feel great about your situation.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody thinks they're going to beat Indiana. And if they don't, that changes things. But they beat Indiana, they get some revenge against Michigan. They're in the Big Ten title game.
Yep.
And they're probably in the tournament even if they lose to Oregon again.
Yes.
And then they're not scared of Oregon a third time, are they?
No. I just think if you're Oregon and Ohio State, if you gave me, this is tough because I usually like the field, but if you gave me Oregon and Ohio State, I think I would probably take that over the field. I think I think one of those two teams is going to win a national championship. I think they're the two best teams. Now, we may get someone that gets hot. My team that I kind of keep an eye on is Alabama. I feel like Alabama may be starting to figure some stuff out, and if they just played a little better defense, and Milroe appears to be locked in, and they've certainly using his legs more. I just thought early in the year, I thought it was a mistake when they were trying to play him more in a traditional passing offense. They're turning him loose, and if the defense, if this is kind of the awakening of the defense that we've seen here over the last couple weeks, Alabama may be a team that has something to say about this, but I'm with you. I think Georgia, by the way, may not just make the playoff. Oregon and Ohio State appear to me to be the two best teams. And I don't know if either one's scared. I don't think Oregon's scared of Ohio State. I just think that's going to be Godzilla versus Mothra, and let's go.
I feel like there are 6 teams that can win it. Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss.
See, and I don't think I'm not going to put Georgia in there.
After that, you're in the Penn State,
yeah,
Tennessee range, and those teams I don't know that they are dynamic enough to win the whole thing.
No, and I'm a little spooked, and I don't know if I'm gonna be persuaded until you get to the postseason. I'm a little spooked of Texas.
Meaning good or bad? What does that mean?
Bad. I don't.
You don't think they're good?
Well, again, not that they're not good. I just when I look at Texas, right? We thought the beginning of the year, we thought the Michigan game was this real definitive statement. Can we all just say Michigan's not good? They're not a good football team. They're not. It's one-dimensional beyond belief. Their next best win is probably Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt took them to the wire. And Vanderbilt's a nice team. I mean, they beat Alabama in a big upset. But after that, they got Arkansas, Kentucky, and Texas A&M, and I don't think Texas A&M is very good either. I think they're really one-dimensional.
Well, some of the shines off Georgia, and
Georgia hammered them. I mean, bitch slapped them. And so that's why I'm kind of like, I look at Texas, and I'm like, it's Sark. And last year they made the playoff, and we're like, oh, Texas is this uber talented team, but there was some quarterback stuff going on there, and they've had some injury problems. I'm just not certain that as much as I feel really good about Oregon and Ohio State. Absolutely do. Those two teams in the playoffs, rock solid. I feel better about Alabama, and Alabama may not even get in. I think they will. But if you ask me, which one do I think has a better chance to win the championship, Alabama or Texas? I'll take Bama. I just don't. There's something about Texas that smells off.
Let me give you a scenario. This is from Peter Burns.
Mm-hmm.
If every SEC favorite wins out, so they're all favorites, they win. So not necessarily that would not be shocking.
Yeah.
And Arkansas beats Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
The SEC championship game will be LSU and Texas A&M.
Will it really?
Yes.
That'd be.
How do you feel about that?
I would not.
LSU could get in this tournament.
Boy, what are they?
It's not far-fetched.
3 losses, right?
Yeah, they have 3 losses.
3 losses. The other one that I say keep an eye on for, because again, I'm kind of soft on Georgia right now. Ole Miss. Ole Miss should be undefeated. They are 2 plays away from being undefeated, and
they can win it.
What an exciting time.
I love when you get to big boy football. Give me a defensive line that can just wreak havoc. When we see what it does in the NFL, and in college, it's even worse because quarterbacks don't handle it very well. And I can't get over how bad Ole Miss's defensive line made Georgia look on that side of the ball.
Yeah, I think that when you talk about coach, quarterback, and line play,
Ole Miss smells right.
Oregon's got it all, but so does Ole Miss.
Yeah. Yep. And if Ohio State, my only thing about Ohio State is, and again, I need to look, no one ever tells long-term, but the O-line, maybe they figured out against Penn State because they ran the ball real well. But just that's the only thing that gives me pause is this isn't the Ohio State team that we saw at the beginning of the year. It's been shuffled around. And maybe everything solidifies or they get some guys back. That's the only question I have about Ohio State. And all this can change because even with Oregon, like Tez Johnson's down and that's a big blow to them. But they have so many receivers. But what if like Evan Stewart gets hurt this week? And now you're like, crap. And then you're down, Harper's down. I don't think he's down for long term. But now let's say that, Cornelius or someone goes down. And now you're, again, like with the Ohio State thing, now you're into a backup to a backup and you're shuffling someone else. Those are the weird things that you just, as you look down the barrel of this, as we finish the season, that's just the one thing that no one can ever predict is, do you have a rash of injuries or one key injury at a position?